We're back with it's Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric and Jordan here with you, talking about television, movies, streaming updates. Where's the clip? There it is. All the things that are going on, all the news that's fit to print. And what we do in this segment is we start off about things that we are consuming ourselves, watching, viewing, listening to. Jordan, what are you watching?
After we talked last night, I didn't fully catch up. I think I have one more episode, but I caught up a little bit with Wednesday season 2. I watched episode 2 and episode 3.
I finished part 1.
Okay.
Because this is part 1.
4 episodes?
This is season 2, but this is part 1 of season 2. 6 episodes.
Okay, so I'm on episode 4 then.
Yeah.
I ended it right where they were at the insane asylum and they opened the back. You think it's the one thing that they caught at the camp, and it turns out it's another character. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but that's where I'm at. I'm going to watch the rest of the episode.
Eddie Munster.
Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell.
Right.
At least somebody, like, tying it into the Addams family,
better.
at least would know the Munsters. Nobody knows the fucking wisecracking friend from Leave It to Beaver who would hit on Wally's mom all the time.
Wouldn't?
So you were watching that. Part 2 of season 2 of Wednesday comes out September 3rd on Netflix.
Yep. So a couple weeks. I'm liking it. I do get where you're coming from, where it feels like a weird mystery, like a Sherlock Holmes.
It's a Sherlock Holmes story. Like, they just sprinkled in the Addams family into it. But if you watch this, you can go, this is something that Stephen Moffat would have done with, it looks very Tim Burton, but the story itself is something very Stephen Moffat that he would have done for the
like a Christmas episode.
Benjamin Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes series. This looks like something from there because it involves Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It involves a lot of. It's just, this shouldn't be the Addams family at all.
It does feel weird that they've kind of said, let's shoehorn the family back into this. Like, I felt like they were just enough in the first season where it's like, that's right, she's an Addams, but this was her own standalone. Now it feels like an ensemble piece that doesn't need to be a part of it. They brought in the little redheaded kid who's a Wendy's clone. She's going to be making hamburgers any day now, and she's kind of annoying because I think they revealed her too quickly. Like, it was just like, hey,
they announced that Wendy's was turning into Wednesdays last week.
It's true.
Certain Wendy's across the country turned into Wednesdays instead of Wendy's.
Right.
And that's where they brought in the Wendy's girl to be her stalker / protege or whatever. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't want to tell you that because you haven't gotten to the point, but next week, let's talk about the actress.
I'll finish it up. So
who plays, because they've already mentioned her at the beginning, so I don't have to say that, but Morticia's mom.
Yes. So
she calls her Mama, but in Addams family it was Grandmama. Grandmama. The actress who plays Grandmama, I want to talk about next week.
Yeah, we'll do that. So I did that. I'm going to catch up fully by next week. I did watch the first couple episodes of King of the Hill reboot.
I finished it. Yep.
I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Surprisingly, really good. Like
it is.
It's like with Beavis
very
and Butthead,
solid.
where it feels the same.
Yep.
But they've aged up, and they were smart to do that because I feel like Beavis and Butthead, they've made it. They're the same age. They're just in a newer version of the world, whereas they've aged up the characters in King of the Hill. They decided not to keep Bobby as a kid. They didn't do that, which was smart because then you can bring in better storylines and stuff like that. So I'm very much enjoying that. Very happy that it's good. I'll be continuing with that for sure.
I love when they were coming back from Saudi Arabia and he couldn't figure out the bathrooms, and he's back in the car and he's like, "Are we all gender?"
Yeah. Don't worry, buddy. It's all gender here. He's like, are we all gender? Yeah. Or like all the traffic cones are weird. And that was good. I watched a little indie horror movie on Shudder that I've been kind of wanting to watch. I finally caught it. It's called Clown in a Cornfield. Cheesy little hack, slasher movie. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's one of those weird ones where like the acting is hokey. The setting is kind of fun. It's kind of predictable if you've watched enough horror movies like I do, but it's a fun watch if you just want to get in the mood for, Halloween coming and stuff like that. So I watched that. I watched the first 2 episodes, which is the only 2 episodes of Alien Earth. And I got to say, even after one episode, I was all in. I was very skeptical about this.
I was amazed to hear you say that. And I was also happy to hear you say that because as we talked about last night, and then you can explain the show, the fact that you really liked this and how good King of the Hill was, that I was hoping we are now turning a corner with, if they're going to reboot, or not reboot in the traditional sense, but continue on, or reimagining, or bring back, whatever you want to call it, old franchises, old properties, and keep it going in a different direction where it makes sense and it's good. I'm all about that, because that's where the nostalgia would work. So many times they brought back things and you go, this is terrible. Why did you even bother?
And that's the biggest problem, is when they bring those back and they're bad, it burns you to the point, and we were talking about this last night, where we're almost upset that we are going in when we hear this news skeptical and upset that they're making it, and then we're almost just as mad that we enjoyed it.
Right.
Because like I am very much enjoying the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. I cannot wait till next Tuesday when the next episode comes out. And it was satisfying, but it feels new. Like, it's set before the first movie, but it looks like it's set before the first movie. So they've kept that aesthetic, but it feels new enough to bring something new to me. So that I'm
if it's before the first movie, how close towards the first movie timeline is it?
Very close.
So like we could see a young Ripley show up?
I don't know. I think maybe the Nostromo is already out in the world, like flying toward, because like Weyland Yutani is already looking for the alien, because it's well, Jared's saying it's got to be after the first movie. I'm seeing a lot of different reports saying that it's set before the first movie. I've seen some reports saying it's right after the first movie, but before the second. I don't know. I got to figure out where the timeline is, but I think what they've done with it is that they've created this continuation, or this expansion of the world, without messing up continuity too much. Because what they've done is, you've got a research vessel, they found the alien, they've done all this stuff, but you don't really see it happen. It's enough, and this happens really early on. The ship that's carrying it crashes right into like what the equivalent of an apartment building is. Right on into Earth. What you've done now is you've contained the alien. So it's not just like, oh, it's got out, now it's in Kansas. You've contained it in this structure, and now it becomes the raid, where you have to go from floor to floor to floor. And now the alien's fucking shit up.
They have it chained on a wall and open up at stage like the original King Kong. People are paying to see this monstrosity.
It's really good. Like it's good.
I'm glad to hear that. The last Alien movie that came out,
Romulus.
People, is that what it was? Romulus,
Alien
right?
Romulus,
where people were excited because it felt like it was going back to what made Alien good. You know, those first 3 movies and stuff. It was going back to closer to the original material, because the ones before that had like Michael Fassbender and was it Prometheus?
Covenant, and
then the crossovers with the Predator. Everything was a disaster. You know, some people are like, oh, I liked Prometheus. No, it was terrible. All of them were terrible. Right, but that last movie, people had high hopes for, and it seemed like a split decision. That some people did not like it at all. Some did.
I enjoyed it. There are things that I find fault with it, but for what it came after, it was good, because they brought it back to its roots. You know, it's something creepy, something fun. This show is actually really good, where it's like they've done stuff that feels new, but essentially you're just getting an alien going around fucking shit up. And it's an FX show. It's on Hulu. But they didn't shy away from being gory. Like, there's one part where the alien comes up behind somebody, grabs somebody, gets them real close, and does the typical alien thing. The little mouth comes out, splits the dude's head open, blood everywhere, and you see people torn in half. And it's gory because it needs to be. And so they didn't shy away from making it accessible. They're just like, no, it's a fucking alien show. Let's make it an alien show. And it's awesome. Like, I cannot wait to keep watching and see what they do with it.
Well,
there's other things I'm not even telling you that I don't want to say that makes another layer of this even more interesting.
Pinhead shows up.
That's right.
All right.
Doug Jones in his Pinhead glory is in this movie.
And Chuck Jones, who's just sitting there animating. This is so now we have 4 examples. Because I see Giddles in the chat. I'm going to bring that up in a second. It seems like we have 4 solid examples now of continuation or reimagining a part of a franchise that is not just a reboot to have, we're going to gender swap or race swap or just where that is the big focus of the property, but the stories suck. It doesn't, like, you're focusing on that shit. Worry about the content, the good content from these properties. We have solid examples now. King of the Hill worked. You're telling me this Alien show is working. Fantastic.
So far, so good.
I said this a while ago, and we just said, coming up September 2nd, season 3 of the new Beavis and Butthead. Those last 2 seasons were fantastic.
Getting a new season September 3rd.
Right. Well, September 3rd. Sorry.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. It's like when they were bringing this back, like, why are they bringing Beavis and Butthead back? I liked
that
it,
one
but
was weird for me.
I was like, why are they doing this? There's no music videos. Like, they're not watching MTV anymore, how they do it. The stories are hilarious. That one where they went into Escape the Room and they just got locked in a bathroom and they thought it was part of Escape the Room was fucking hilarious. And then the interstitials between them, they're watching YouTube videos. And I'm like, that's perfect because MTV's not there anymore. You can still watch music videos, but you can watch all this other weird shit. The other one that comes to mind was they watched some Australian girl that had a silver platter stacked in a pyramid of Big Macs. And all she was going to do was going to eat every Big Mac. And the whole video is just Butthead staring there with his mouth open and hearts like he's in love with this girl. And like they figured it out. And the reason this too, it wasn't MTV and Viacom, Paramount, whatever, that were over controlling the show the last few seasons of the original run. It just says Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead. So he's producing all of it with his company.
Full control, I think.
And without them. So they're doing all of this shit. Mike Judge got the rights back to King of the Hill. It's just him and his people, and they're doing it right. So Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. You have the new Alien series, and Giddles just said, "I saw the new Final Destination was so good and felt new as well." And that's the 7th movie,
surprisingly good.
7th movie,
6th movie, I believe. Yeah, I watched it too. It's actually, if you haven't seen it, it's streaming on HBO Max. It's really interesting. Like, it's fun. The deaths are interesting. They found a way to connect every movie in a way that makes sense, making it like, hey, guess what? This happened here, and it's why all the other movies exist. And I'm like, it's fucking genius.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It's so simple. And then the deaths are satisfying and they're fun. And then it did well enough. They're going to make another one. They're going to do another Final Destination movie.
Right.
And you know what? Good for them. Do it until the wheels come off.
So hopefully we are turning a corner here where they're figuring out how to continue a franchise, a successful franchise, bring in that nostalgia factor, but do it right and move it forward so that it would be enjoyable. I hope that's the timeline we're in now.
You know what's not good?
Season 3 of America? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, currently. The last thing I watched the Ice Cube War of the Worlds.
I haven't. I meant to. I got so busy with other shit. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm glad you watched it. I've been trying to dodge things online because everyone's saying it's so terrible. It got a 0 score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's about as much as I know.
I'm not going to tell you anything about this movie other than that it's one of the worst things I've ever seen, and I must have you watch it. I need you to watch this movie.
Did you tell me about the green screen?
Yes, there's a scene early on in the film where, because the whole movie is him watching screens. Like, he's stuck in a room, he's doing this. He's in his apartment or whatever. And at one point, you see the green screen reflected in his glasses. And it's very quick, but you notice it. And then it's I can't even describe how bad this movie is. The dialogue, the way it works, the fact that they set up something in one part and then they completely throw it out the window in the next. Like, it's bad. I need you to watch this.
All right.
It's such a waste of your time.
It's on my list. Believe me, I'm going to want to watch it, but I will go do it. Podcast Media. Hello, guys. How are you? He's saying hi, guys, to us. Go support their channel. They do some good shows with their podcast over at Podcast Media on YouTube there. Anything else that you watched?
No, the only other thing I was playing was, like we talked about in segment 1, Battlefield 6. The second weekend of the beta is out now. I'm going to probably go play that all night long and then play it throughout the weekend. And then after that, the game comes out in October. Based off the beta, I'm already excited about it. I'm going to probably buy it myself and play a lot of Battlefield. So
good.
But that's all I've been doing. I haven't been really listening to anything other than going back to AFI. Like, I've been listening to a lot of old AFI because of the new song that came out, and it's just weird how much the band progresses in sound as they've gotten older. They went from like really fucking just like hardcore punk to like this weird kind of
they sound like Fish now.
And now they sound like Fish or Echo and the Bunnymen. And it's just like, it's so weird how it sounds. It's good. It's just different. Like, they've evolved.
Good.
I've seen them live a few times where it's like, you sounded good in this concert, and the next one it sounds like you just pure garbage. Like, he's not consistent live.
Yeah.
So maybe the tone of this new song and the album is to match what his register is now.
Or maybe they've embraced AI.
Maybe.
Could be that. Was it AFI or Alkaline Trio that Rob went to the concert and it was the wrong day?
I believe it was Alkaline Trio.
It was Alkaline Trio. Okay. For me, I watched season 2, part 1 of Wednesday. I watched all 6 episodes. Mm-hmm. I'm not as annoyed by Fred Armisen as Fester in this season as I was in the first one.
See, I haven't gotten to him yet. The only one part I saw was when she did the flashback of when she was driving and he got in the car after they robbed the bank.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the one thing I for some reason didn't like this in that episode. The driving instructor gets killed. And I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. He didn't do anything wrong other than he just was the driving instructor.
He's a normie. It happens.
I know, and I felt bad. Like, actually felt bad about it.
I watched that. I watched the TMZ special that they just aired on Fox the other day. It showed up on Hulu right away. It was weird. It says, it was on Fox broadcasting Tuesday night, Hulu the next day. Within an hour, it was up on Hulu. I was like, they didn't give a shit about promoting it for the next day. They're like, get it up there now. And I watched it. It was TMZ. They talked with Vince. It's Vince McMahon's first public anything since leaving the company. They talked to him, a bunch of other wrestlers and stuff, and go.
Oh, that's what I wanted to name the episode stream.
What?
You called Vince a white avocado.
Yeah, he looks like a white avocado.
It was weird. And then when I looked it up, I was like, well, yeah, you're right.
Well, I didn't know that's what you wanted to say, but I had written it down yesterday, and it's right there, white avocado.
Oh, there it is.
So I had it. I watched that. That was interesting for a wrestling fan. Vince looked terrible.
It's terrible.
So, yeah. I don't know how much longer Vince has, but who knows? There's another rumor going around involving WWE that it may be there might be speculation that it was requested that Vince make a return for John Cena's final match, that he's there for the final thing. I don't know if that can even be possible, but then again, Brock Lesnar's back. But they did not invite Vince to the Hulk Hogan tribute that they did on WWE. So who knows? Who knows? But again, everything in wrestling, anything is possible. They could always say, no, that guy will never come back, and they come back. It always is. Never say never is the motto of professional wrestling. I watched that, and then I started watching Mark Maron's new comedy special on HBO Max.
Yeah, I haven't started that yet.
I'm forgetting the name of it now, but so far okay. So far, I want to talk about that article that just came out next week, if we can.
Okay, I'll watch his special, and then we can do that. I think
okay.
It's called Panic. Mark Maron Panicked.
Yeah, I think some of it is in his special too, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he has an issue with the world of podcasting. In some ways, I agree, but just the way he's doing it, I don't. We'll get into it. So we have that, and that is it. All right, moving on to what is coming out now. And as we do that, if you're watching on the live channel there, you're all in the room. I see you there. If you're on Twitch and if you're on YouTube, just take a moment, go over there, hit like on the video there, if you could be so kind, or hit subscribe if you haven't already. It's free. What do you care? It's costing you nothing. Take a moment. Do that now. We'll wait. Okay, moving on. Out right now in theaters, Nobody 2 with Bob Odenkirk. I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to theater to see that, but I will definitely pay for it when it comes on video on demand. I will rent that. Also in theaters, this is fun. A re-release of Shin Godzilla, but in 4K.
I know. They just did the pre-orders for a box set that I might buy with Shin Godzilla.
So I'm like, oh, it's in 4K. So what does that mean? Is there an IMAX version or something? Like, what are they doing here? Apparently, they went and they fucked with the color scales a little bit, I guess. So he's more neon, more what? I think they only did that because the American Godzilla that's out right now, because now he's punk rock pink, and as he's evolving and all this stuff. The neon color stuff seems to be attracting a lot of people to this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think they just went and did some of the color schemes. So like when he evolves in his mouth, like he's got a weird mouth for when the beam shoots out of his mouth and everything.
Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah, he's a weird design. But
it almost looks like, have you ever seen the inside of like a snapping turtle's mouth?
Yeah.
It just looks weird like that.
But
it kind of reminds me of that.
Fair, but there's some scenes where his mouth is open and wide in such a weird angle, and the way like his throat or something is kind of bulging from it. It looks almost like in Alien when he opens the mouth and the little head is coming out through the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's starting to look like there. But anyway, it's back in theaters for a few days. If you have not seen Shin Godzilla, go watch it, because it's so enjoyable that the majority of the movie is just this thing, what was it, like molting? In the middle of this little Japanese town, and it's Godzilla's not even there until the very end of the movie.
But you're not upset about it.
No, not at all.
Because like they're the American Godzilla remake that had oh God, who was in it? Scarlet Witch was in it, and a couple other people. It was one of those movies that Godzilla didn't show up to the last like 10 minutes of the movie, and you were actually upset about it. You're like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like this was annoying. Shin Godzilla is so good all the way through that when Godzilla shows up, it's just like having fucking like ice, icing on the cake. Like,
right.
It was just perfect. I own that one. That one's a good one.
Go and watch that. I highly recommend it. Over on HBO Max, Freaky Tales. Is that the new Freaky Friday movie?
No, it's an anthology movie. So it's like 4 different stories interconnected, taking place in real locations during like real events in 1987. But it's starring Pedro Pascal. So it's one of those movies that came out recently that he is part of it. Ben Mendelsohn's in it. Dominic
He's
Thorne.
in too much.
He's in a lot.
Here's the thing. It's not a matter of like he's constantly in projects. He's in too much that it's all of it out at the same time.
Yeah.
That's not good for anybody. You'll go and like there's 7 different things with Pedro Pascal. I'm already sick of him, and he's a fine actor, but it's just like I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Like there's too much of that shit there. If you already didn't like him for his political takes or whatever, you're probably not going to like him for the fact that he's in everywhere you turn. There's something promoting him in there. And then his star power will burn out pretty fast because of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Freaky Tales over on Disney Plus and Hulu. The WWE thing with TMZ, I told you, is available through Hulu. Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2 are there, as Jordan was talking about. We're getting closer to, I forgot what the date was, but Hulu's going to disappear in the United States, and North America, and it's all going to merge right into Disney Plus. So you won't have the Hulu app anymore. You won't have any of that stuff. You have to go to Disney Plus to watch all the Hulu based. I guess it's just like a subfolder or something, a section in Disney Plus now.
When they merged originally, you had to go in and say, I want more adult content, and then it allowed you to merge the Hulu stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You could still have your kids account where it's not anything Hulu related. But yeah, that's I think it's what they're just eventually going to keep.
Right. Well, it's all moving over there.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have? We have over on Amazon Prime another Sausage Party.
Yeah, it's a TV show that they put out
Foodtopia
based off
season
the bad
2.
movie.
I don't think I ever finished the first Sausage Party movie.
No,
That's the one with
so.
Seth Rogen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished it. I don't know how far I got into that movie. I don't even remember what the movie was at this point, but I know I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Over on Peacock, Monkey Man. What is that?
It's an independent Indian movie with I think Dev Patel. He plays a guy who is fighting a lot, and he takes on the moniker of Monkey Man or Hanuman, and he goes and fights like the upper class, and it's basically a class warfare. It came out in the theater a couple years ago, but they just released it on streaming with Peacock. So I think it's fun. It's a good movie.
Whenever I hear Monkey Man, all I think of is that song from the Specials. Do you remember that?
It's been a while.
Yeah, da, Monkey Man, like all the special songs. Fun time to be had. Over on Video on Demand, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fucking fast for a summer blockbuster, but
came out the first part of July.
Right. And we're in the middle of August, and there it is.
Early middle of August.
The Smurfs movie, which I heard did good. It's not in competition for all the other adult shit, but for a family movie to come out at that time, did okay.
Rihanna's in it, like she does a voice in there.
And then Eddington, which is the other Pedro Pascal property that was in theaters, is also available. Next week, we're looking forward to this. Peacemaker, Season 2 is going to be available on HBO Max. I don't know if they're splitting this thing up like a half season or if it's just going to be a weekly release. I don't know how they're doing it over there with HBO Max.
I know that Creature Commandos, the cartoon for DC, was weekly. Right. So if they're smart, they'll stick with that model and they'll keep the talk about Peacemaker going forward.
Okay.
So since we're talking about Peacemaker and Superman's on streaming or video on demand as of tomorrow, we'll go into our first story. I'll skip the first one.
No, I wanted to show we're going to watch the trailer for Peacemaker, weren't we?
Yes, but this is all tied into all that.
My apologies.
James Gunn is saying that Superman got a swift digital release due to Peacemaker Season 2. So he came out saying that it's coming out on Friday, tomorrow or today, if you're listening later.
Gotcha.
On Friday, director says that there's a reason behind the quick virtual arrival. Well, it's very complicated, but the truth is because of Peacemaker. He said when asked why they wanted to release it so quickly after the theatrical release. I originally thought Peacemaker was going to be coming out next month. There was a lot of things that were beyond our control, so that Peacemaker is coming out now. And at the end of the day, I wanted everyone to be able to see Superman that wanted to, even those people who couldn't get to the theater before Peacemaker, and that was really the reason for it. So Peacemaker is really the reason why it's coming out streaming so quickly, because it all ties in very, very closely and sets up the larger DCU.
Gotcha.
That's why we can watch the trailer.
I forgot that part. Was he gay, or is he just he likes anybody?
Who?
Peacemaker.
I'm sure he just was into anything, really.
Okay.
It seems like he would be very heterosexual, like, I'm a manly man type.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was just an orgy. He may not have been with
all right,
the guy.
because he just looked that quick. I'm not going back to it because I don't know
like
what
some dudes.
It's so funny. You have to be worried about YouTube, but the trailer's on YouTube. So, by the way, this is going back to what DC perfected in the 2000s, in the 2010s. Where they did it with their CW properties. They did it with their Fox shows like Gotham, where they would do the offbeat covers of things or the creepy covers.
Or like the creepy cover. Like with the Batman, Robert Pattinson did the Nirvana one for the first trailer.
Right, but like for Gotham, every week was a new creepy cover for the TV commercial promo, what have you. Whatever this version is of We're Not Gonna Take It, I got to find it out. Find a thing, the same technology that Lex had, universes. Or they just go to the same place that Lex wound up
remember in the first season of Peacemaker, he had that pocket universe that's where he got all his extra helmets and
because that's where because his dad had it. It was his dad's thing.
So, I mean, the idea of pocket universes exists,
right?
So I think that's the same thing.
So they can go to the same places, but. Is it the same technology that Lex had in the movie?
Lex had pocket universes, so it was just like this middle ground thing. I think in this show, they're doing different dimensions. Like they're going into a different universe.
Okay.
It's like, Marvel's version of going from 626 to 1123 or what, all the crazy nerdy shit.
Hold on.
No, I think it's just General Henchman number 5.
Hold on, I want to see that again. That looks like Batista.
It looks like him. I don't think it's Batista. Oh, shit.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Now I'm seeing the mouth here. There, it doesn't look like. But
you think all Filipinos look the same?
Why do they all have to look like Batista? But like until we saw this thing here, didn't it look like? I thought it was. Like,
a little bit.
If he just had an unnamed cameo in the thing, because James Gunn.
Sure, right, that's funny.
So.
I like the first. Like I was didn't know how the first season would be because honestly, like I didn't really care for his character in Suicide Squad, but like. After watching the first season, I was like, all right, this is funny. Like, this is really good.
Yeah.
So I'll watch. I can't wait for the second season.
I'm pretty stoked for it. I think it'll all be good. All right. We need to go to entertainment news with Jordan here. Hold on.
First thing we will get out of the way real quick is we both like Marvel's Thunderbolts. It just got a physical release and it's on video on demand. Well, at the end of this month, August 27th, it will be hitting Disney Plus. For all of you who have not seen the movie, you will have access to it on Disney Plus August 27th. Marvel's Thunderbolts.
I'm going to watch it again. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've watched it twice since I purchased it. Like I actually have like the physical copy of it, and I mean my son loved that movie. He got to go see that a couple times in the theater. And I'm like, this is weird that this is the movie that you've latched onto. Like, of all the superhero movies, this is the one that he really enjoyed. I'm like, you've probably got some issues we got to work through. But
does he call the last movie Captain African American?
No, he just like Japanese people.
Okay, I don't know. You're the one that tells me that your kid has all these problems. I'm just asking questions.
He's a great kid. I love him. So last week we talked about the big deal with who was getting the rights to WWE. It was ESPN. So ESPN got the rights to WWE. There's going to be a whole big old thing. A lot of new, launching of new apps for ESPN, $30 a month, all that shit. Well, between then and now, Paramount has announced that they've nabbed the UFC rights in a major $7.7 billion deal. And they're going to peel off from ESPN starting in 2026.
Here's what I don't get. I mean, kudos for TKO to everywhere they're turning, they're getting billion-dollar deals. Good on them. Here's what I don't understand. WWE, UFC, if you don't know, all under the same parent company, TKO. WWE was tied into NBC forever, like since the 80s. Up until this new ESPN deal, you would watch, and then the Netflix deal, you would watch Raw on USA Network. Now it's on Netflix. So you got to pay for that. WWE a lot of their stuff was housed on Peacock, the NBC Universal streaming platform. You would get NXT stuff. You'd get SmackDown. You'd get their what do they call? PLEs, paid live events. All their pay-per-views for the rest of the audience. All from having a Peacock subscription, plus documentaries, specials, archives, all of that stuff was there. UFC was with ESPN, but you had to pay $30 extra to get them, almost like a high-level pay-per-view thing, because you have ESPN, but you had to pay more. There was another tier to get UFC fights, right? So you're paying tons of money for all of that stuff. UFC was saying, it's like, well, we're going to try to get a better deal so you don't have to pay for that extra tier. We're going to do all this stuff. So UFC leaves ESPN, leaves a hole open that they filled with WWE, but only the pay-per-views are on the ESPN platform. Everything else is still, Raw is still on Netflix, SmackDown is still on NBC, USA Network, Peacock. NXT is on the CW network, but their archive stuff are over on Peacock. So they moved the pay-per-view deal to ESPN for a multi-billion-dollar deal. And they're still trying to figure out, is like, do you have to pay the extra $30 to get this ESPN package? You have to pay for an extra tier like you did for the UFC. So the UFC people didn't like that. They left. WWE came in there, not even with all their shit, just the pay-per-views. UFC then moves to a platform to Piedmont. That's an old airline that doesn't exist.
Right.
To Paramount. That is the same deal that WWE had with Peacock. So now the UFC fights are going to be there through Paramount. You can watch them through Paramount. They're going to do UFC. Which
is a shitty app, by the way.
It's terrible.
Out of all the streaming apps, it's one of the worst.
It's clunky and basic at the same time.
And clunky and ugh.
The UFC is going to have their pay-per-views through there. They're going to have their special fights and, the smaller, preliminary fights and stuff on there. They're even going to do primetime network CBS broadcasts, which UFC has never had, ever.
So here's the terms of the deal. So 7-year term begins in 2026. Overall, $7.7 billion.
Right.
It's weighted more basically toward the back end of the deal. Paramount will exclusively distribute UFC's full slate of 13 annual marquee numbered events and 30 fight nights via the Paramount Plus streaming platform. Select numbered UFC events will be simulcast. Not just like later on you'll get it. It's simulcast, which means at the same time on CBS, according to the company. As part of the agreement, UFC and Paramount will move away from UFC's existing pay-per-view model, and instead the events will be available at no additional cost on Paramount Plus's U.S. subscribers. The shift in distribution strategy will unlock greater accessibility and discoverability for sports fans and provide an important catalyst for driving engagement and further subscriber growth for Paramount Plus. When they figure out the rights and acquiring the rights outside of the U.S., they will see who's going to be their outside of the U.S. provider. But right now, it looks like you're going to get all the UFC without paying anything extra if you already have Paramount Plus. That means all the pay-per-views, all the stuff that you would pay 30, 40, 50 bucks a piece, all going to be accessible just right there. That actually, I feel, is a lot easier to digest than having to spend $30 for an ESPN app that no one wants.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Insane deal compared to the WWE one.
Well, I mean, good on them for being able to make these deals. I think it's better for the UFC fans, I'll say that, to have that Paramount deal because it's all there in one place. You'll get the network broadcast too, which will be a big deal. The WWE people are now going to be the ones that are screaming and complaining. Well, they have been since SummerSlam. There's been a bunch of stuff they've been complaining about. But now it's like, well, I watch Raw on Netflix. I watch SmackDown on USA, or I have to watch it on Peacock. Now I have to go to a third place to watch the pay-per-views.
Splits the focus a lot.
Right. So focus, one, but two, the money. Mm-hmm. You're really, really, really. I hate that term.
You have to subscribe to Netflix. You have to subscribe to Peacock. You have to subscribe to ESPN if you don't already have.
You're draining the wallets of all your fans. Oh, yeah. And wrestling, UFC is supposed to be like
for the people. Really.
Yeah, for the people, middle class stuff, families to come out to fathers, sons, fathers, kids, whatever. Bring them out to these events here, and you're pricing them out. Mm-hmm. Almost like football games, with the seat license and all that other shit. Baseball games are impossible to go to, too. I know people still go, but that's your fault for spending that money. WWE is now going to be put into this position where it's just like families are going to be like, I can't. I know my kid loves wrestling, but they're just not going to be able to watch the pay-per-views. They're going to have to watch the recap on Raw on Monday, and that's going to be it.
So, getting all the UFC. So that should be interesting. I subscribe to all these things already, so none of this affects me. It's just shifting where I see it.
Yeah,
but it's going to be interesting. So, moving on, I've kept it kind of short, so we're going to go into our first other major thing, and I know this affects you because of your newfound fandom. Taylor Swift has announced an October release of a new album called "The Life of a Showgirl." She revealed her new album that's going to be released October 3rd, unveiling the cover art and track list that features Sabrina Carpenter on the title song. She made the big reveal on her social media and during the Wednesday episode of the New Heights podcast, co-hosted by her boyfriend Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs and his brother Jason Kelce. Her website is now offering variants of the vinyl, including a glitter orange, a deluxe CD and cassette. The podcast aired. She debuted the deluxe album covers on her site. This is pretty big. She just released an album last year, 30 some odd songs. It was album of the year. I mean, it's crazy. And then in between the Eras tour, releasing that, she had time to write 12 new songs, produce it, get it all done while she was on the Eras tour. And she announced it on her first podcast debut, which I listened to today. And I got to say, I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but she seemed very relatable as a person. Like
Right.
it felt like this is the most accessible I think I've ever had to her being a person. You know, she's not just that's Taylor Swift. She's this enigma out there doing her thing, making all the money, being everywhere. She was funny. She was personable. She was cracking jokes. Like there was one point where she goes, she's on the podcast. She goes, and that what every, male centric sports fan wants is more of me. And she was leaning into the fervor of everyone fucking being pissed off that she was the center of attention during all the NFL games and things like that. So, it was interesting to hear her just kind of go off and talk. They talked about the relationship. They talked about the Eras tour, her, all her family stuff and doing this album. It was a big reveal. Not too bad. Will I go out and listen to all her music? Probably not. It's not my thing, but I respect her for what she's doing and good for her. So
I don't even know where to start. Like if I want to, I know a handful of songs.
I know a few,
but I know some people who there's one person I know that used to work.
Giddles.
No. There's this one girl that used to work somewhere I work, and she just did a whole thing where she was crafting playlists that were all based on like this song's topic. This playlist is based off of this Taylor song, and these are songs that are similar to that have the same subject or whatever. And then she was going all in depth and really just like I think she was trying to figure out how to design an algorithm.
Right?
I think it was a waste of time, but apparently she didn't think it was a waste of time. She was, she's young girl, like in her 20s and stuff. So I guess that makes sense. But I was just watching this online, and like she's making all these custom playlists, and I mean she's not hurting anybody. It's fine. But I was just sitting there. I'm like, why? Like
it's a weird level of fandom.
Yeah, like, that fandom is pretty crazy and unique, depending on the different facets that you look at.
And Taylor talked about it on the podcast where she goes like, I'm into Easter eggs and things like that. Like all of my stuff is accessible by people who don't want to get into things. Numerology, all the things of what I put in there.
Right.
And then there are people that understand it. So I guess the last show she did on the Eras tour, instead of the normal exit out of the stage like she normally does, she left in it was like an orange door with a green background.
Right.
And people were like, what the fuck does that mean? Like they noticed it. Like they picked up on the fact that this hadn't happened.
That's how her world tour ended?
And that's how her world tour ended, but it tied into this album release. And she didn't tell anybody. But people picked up.
She's her own cinematic universe, that's Marvel level thinking of everything means something and ties into something else.
Yeah, and I respect it.
Very smart.
I may not be a fan, but I respect it. Like I really do. So she will be doing that. Speaking of more music news, Megadeth has announced a final album. So they're putting out another album, but it will be their last and a farewell tour. So much like Ozzy, I think some of these artists are realizing their age and their longevity. He had a different issue, but they are now going to be putting out. So Dave Mustaine announced that the longtime running metal band Megadeth will be putting out a new album in 2026 and will be touring, and it will be their last. So there will be so many musicians that have come to the end of their career, whether accidental or intentional. He says most of them don't get to go out on their own terms on top. And that's where I'm at in my life. I have traveled the world and have made millions upon millions of fans. And the hardest part of all of it is saying goodbye. We can't wait for you to hear the album and see us on tour. If there was ever a perfect time for us to put out a new album, it's now. If there was ever a perfect time for the tour of the world, it's now. And if perfect time for us to tell you that it's our last studio album, it's now. We've made a lot of friends over the years and hope to see you all on our global farewell tour. Don't be mad. Don't be sad. Be happy for us all. Come celebrate with me over the next few years. I think I've not been a huge Megadeth fan. I grew up listening to Metallica. I had a few Megadeth albums. They've never been, his voice bothers me. I think he lives in Arizona. So like there are ties to him. I respect that he's realizing he's got to end it and be done with it, because I watched someone the other day and they're like, why is he still doing that? Dave. Oh God, what's the fucking last name?
Mustaine.
No, not Mustaine. Right. It's right there. It's in the copy.
Letterman?
No, the lead singer Van Halen.
Van Halen?
No.
Is he Dave Van Halen?
Dave Van Halen. That's right. So I saw a video of Dave Van Halen the other day, and he's terrible. He's terrible. And he should have hung this up years ago and stopped.
Right.
And I again respect when they realize they gotta go.
Chappelle?
And be done. Yep, that Dave Chappelle finally left Van Halen. And he's hanging it up. So Megadeth's done. We are done with Megadeth. Moving on.
Okay.
Pee-wee's Big Venture, the bike that was in the movie, is debuted at the actual Alamo.
This is very good. This is
good
smart
marketing.
that they're doing this.
So Pee-wee's Big Adventure fans can now feel like a loner and a rebel as the bike makes its public debut at the Alamo. The original screen-use stunt bicycle from director Tim Burton's popular comedy was unveiled a few weeks back at the historic fort in San Antonio, Texas. The bike's debut took place on the 40th anniversary of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which Warner Brothers released in theaters August 9th, 1985. The bike, which the Alamo acquired earlier this summer, is central to the plot of the Paul Rubens movie. Pee Wee Herman set out a journey. So Pee-wee's Big Adventure collected $40 million, $122 million today, and became a cult classic, spawned 2 sequels. People reported in May that the bike had sold at auction for $125,000. I really would actually love to go see
Wait, if it was on auction, who bought it?
Alamo.
Oh, okay.
Or another company that is loaning it out. Or
all right, no, because
they've acquired it.
Okay, that's fine. Because I was gonna say, like, did somebody buy it and then is now donating it to the Alamo?
Either
that's
donating
unique,
or it's on loan as like an exhibit to
Yeah.
tie in. Like that's a smart move. Like maybe they're renting it out from them. But yeah, so that it's a great move. Smart. I would love to see it. I love that bike growing
If
up.
I was
That
going to
little
see the
tiger head on
Alamo,
front.
I'd ask where the bike is, and then can I write it down in the basement?
Yeah.
Why not?
There's no basement in the Alamo.
Oh, Jan Huffs, you're leaving Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, she's also left the earth. And then the last story
Oh, that's sad.
for movies that didn't need to actually happen. This actor who I've never heard of, Noah Centino, has been attached to play Rambo in a prequel movie called John Rambo. He's going to be playing a young Rambo. The role made.
What if they just call him Jumbo?
Jumbo. That sounds racist too. I've never heard of this guy. I saw a picture of him. He looks like he could possibly fit the role. I don't know why we're milking this property as much as we are.
I don't know.
Like, I really don't know. Because, like, they did the first couple Rambos, Rambo 3 and all this stuff. The Rambo that came out where he was like, I think it was like in the Philippines or something like that. I remember one scene he was on like a gun. And he was
he was
mowing
in
people
Black
down.
Adam.
Yeah, that's right. Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Was he the kid?
He was Adam Smasher.
Oh God, that's right. I don't remember that movie.
Because I'm looking him up. I'm like, what would I know him from?
Yeah, that's
And
what I
then
was thinking. Like, I don't think I've ever known anything from. Yeah, you're right. He was the Atom Smasher. Oh, whatever. I don't even care. I'm not going to see this one because the last Rambo movie, apparently he was like going to Mexico to find his like goddaughter or something. They've milked this property way too much.
I'll tell you this: you've got an experienced actor going into the role, but he's not a known person.
Yeah.
You know, and that could be a good thing. That look, he's got enough experience, so he knows what he can act. Hopefully, he knows what he's doing in this. In this role, but he's unknown. That it's not going to be like, oh my God, you got Jason Momoa as as Rambo or something like that. You won't get one. No, Pedro Pascal is now going to be the new Rambo. That kind of thing. This guy is not that well known. That's a plus.
Well, and
for all of this.
like I said, do you see a picture of him? He kind of has a pretty similar look. Like he could possibly pull this off. I don't know what this is going to be about. I don't know if I care enough.
Yeah.
So, but yep, that's it. We're getting a new Rambo. Doing all that.
Okay.
Taylor Swift is taking over the world.
Good on her. We're going to have to turn into Swifties. Hopefully that'll boost the popularity of our show. Maybe we'll do a red and green background. I don't know. Or either that or it's St. Patrick's Day. I don't know.
We tried doing a bit where we talked about Swiftie type stuff and the algorithm burned us. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, no, we put that on as like that new Taylor. Oh, we should re-release that.
Let's try to re-release it now that she's in the limelight right now.
That thing we said we hate about TikTok where they're like, just delete it and repost it.
Just delete it and repost it.
What if I repost it? The video we're talking about, we put out something a while ago where we said we reviewed Taylor Swift's new song and we were talking about it. And really what it is Nikki Glaser recorded a song for her comedy special of the same name. And she purposely was trying to do a Taylor Swift song, but the whole song was not about how everybody burned her or she wishes people were dead. Is about how terrible she is to her as a person herself, and that someday she'll die. And we're sitting there like, "Wow, Taylor's getting dark." Whatever.
It's not dark.
A lot of the people are like, "That's not Taylor's song. What are you talking about? You're a fucking idiot." It's like, now's the time to put that out.
Yeah,
because I read
some early release of one of the tracks from the Showgirl album,
which could be probable to dumb people. Because I was reading something while you were talking about a few things here. So I guess some of the potential track information got leaked, that's where they found out
track titles.
Yeah, so that's where they found out. The Sabrina Carpenter thing was happening. She's appearing on one of the songs, but two, the song. Well, there's a song about Blake Lively, and that's it. That's confirmed on there. There's a song about. Hold on, I just closed out of the thing. Damn it!
You gotta stop closing stuff.
Well, I try to be efficient, and then it doesn't happen.
That never happens.
Showgirl, right? Yeah, that's the name of the album. Okay.
The Life of a Showgirl.
All right, here's the things here. It's talking about there's a song going off about people thinking that her relationship with Travis Kelce was a PR stunt. So there's a song about that. There's a song about that apparently goes pretty hard against Blake Lively and the toxicity that Blake sucked her into with all that shit. This isn't telling me the third thing. Anyway, you can look it up for yourself. But yeah, some of that stuff got leaked out. So if that's there, we could cast out. Maybe I'll post it tomorrow. All right. I'll have to do that. All right. Good idea. Proud of everybody for coming up on that. It helps to have
guys.
It's great to have a group think with all of you here, spitballing ideas, keep it moving. There's no bad ideas, just some are better than others. And with that said, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
Catch me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube at JinxRun, and Twitch.
Is Blue Sky doing anything for you? Because I've seen people who are, no. Blue Sky is the liberal platform, but I've seen a lot of liberal people saying Blue Sky turned out to be just as bad as Twitter did.
It's all just as bad. There's no way.
Yeah.
They're all dumb. But yeah, catch me on Twitch at JinxRun79. I'll probably do some more Battlefield 6 beta this weekend. If you've got an Amazon subscription and you want to go to our show Twitch channel at It's Eric Nagel, you can use your Amazon subscription, use your free month of Twitch Prime or whatever they call it. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe for a month, renew it every now and then. It's free to you. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You're already paying for your Amazon stuff. Helps the show out, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yes, please do all of that stuff there. I was just popping over to Twitch and I see alerts for subscription stuff. I'm like, ooh, somebody subscribed. It doesn't show us on this software, but I'll have to go check that out for after the show. But in the meantime, follow us anywhere on the social medias at It's Eric Nagel. We are present, some more than others. I've given up on Blue Sky. I don't know who's bothering with Threads. There's a lot of things out there that are a complete waste of time, but mostly Twitter and Instagram are the places to follow us. But anyway, do all of that stuff. If you're on the iHeartRadio app, do us a kindness, put us in the #1 position on the presets. It helps us, or so we're told. If you're on Apple, Spotify, any of those kind of things, do us a kindness over there. Go leave a positive review, a 5-star, whatever their rating scale is. It does help out the program. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this program, you can head over, like Jordan said, to Twitch or onto YouTube. like, subscribe, and use your Prime stuff, use your whatever you got there, and help us out. That helps. And if you want to watch the content when time is better suited to your schedule, totally get it. YouTube.com/It's Eric Nagel, or at It's Eric Nagel, I think YouTube is doing now. Watch all the material. It's there for you when you're ready to have it. All right, I think that's it.
It is.
We are out of here. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Eat peace, motherfuckers.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends, so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.